morning, Marcus.
How are you, Peter? How are you doing?
I'm fine, and you can tell by that accent that you are from Scotland. Did you vote yes or no, by the way? Are you happy with the results?
Oh, I don't want to get into politics. I don't want more controversy. Yeah, no.
Okay, well, we just thought we might single you out here and get everyone tweeting you. Marcus, it's a good card at Ayr today. Silver or Gold Cup take precedence. How you seeing the card there today, Marcus?
Yeah, well, I was at Ayr yesterday, and one thing that's very important is the draw. You want to be drawn stand side over 6-5 furlongs, in my opinion. The best grounds there. So anything drawn low, I would scrap them completely. But I think there's a couple of good bets. I mean, I think the Silver Cup's more competitive, and I found it more difficult to find a wager. But the Gold Cup, I think I've maybe got one for the Gold Cup. Good price, a bit of value as well.
Okay, fire away with what they are. What do you like in the Silver Cup?
Silver Cup, I mean, I think it was very, very competitive. I think Kevin Ryan's going to have a good day. Ayr, I mean, they're quite similar horses. Like Bogart ran a good race last time. He's got course and distance form. Ran a good race last time. 93 could still be competitive of that. Foxtrot, Romeo horses. He's been given a lot of chances recently. Just finding one too good. You got horses as well. Like Luca Kamani sent one up as well. Mission approved. But as you say, I don't fancy that one today. But to be honest with you, I don't really think it's a betting opportunity for me. The Silver Gold Cup, but for the Gold Cup, I like York Glory. I think he's going to get a dream run into the race. He's drawn perfectly on the stand side. They're going to go fast early, and it's just a case of if he can stay the distance, really get a clean run. So I think 20-1's massive for York Glory. I think potentially running off 100 in this. I mean, I think it's a listed group horse running off in a handicap, basically. I know he's been a bit disappointing recently, but I still think that. See, I don't think this is that competitive. I mean, Blaine, Amy's on, Ryan's on that. I think that I'd rather be on York Glory at 28 than be on Blaine at 10s.
Okay. And what's the weather up like there today? Is it dry and sunny?
To be honest with you, all week the weather's been really, really, really bad. It's a lot of rain. But you see, you want to be drawn stand side. Anything drawn far side, just scrap it completely because there's a massive draw bias.
I would say, Marcus, yesterday I noticed that as well. There was one place, I think third or second, that was drawn 4, but everything else was middle to high.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like if you're having a bet, obviously if you're using the exchanges, have a trade and running as well, because it's quite a deceiving angle at Ayr as well. It's quite easy to trade, but I would go for anything. I'd probably go for the draw, probably about 18 upwards. I think that's where the winner will come from. I can't see anything getting involved far side because it's a massive draw bias.
Marcus, it's Sam.
Sam wants to ask you a question.
Yeah, hi Marcus, it's Sam here. Just want to ask, I think I've picked one out. It kind of follows your formula. So Kevin Ryan runner and a really interesting jockey booking in Pat Smullen. Lexington Abbey in the Silver Cup. What do we think?
See, obviously, if you've got Pat Smullen on your horse, I mean, it's definitely not going to be a negative, is it?
No, I thought it was quite an eye-catching booking and also drawn quite high, I think.
Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, I had to be looking at that one as well, and I think it certainly has an excellent chance. It's got distance form. Maybe the 99 days off look could maybe be a concern, but as you say, it's got every chance. Obviously, if you're trading on the exchanges, you can, obviously I'm just trying to see what price the horse is trading at the moment. You get 25s just now. You maybe get lay off at 12s and running, but as you say, I think that is another one that will get a run. Run behind Majestic Moon at Musselburgh. Yeah. I was actually at Ayr that day. But see, I mean, this is much more competitive compared to that race at Musselburgh. But as you say, Kevin Ryan's an excellent trainer, and I can see him picking up either the Silver or the Gold Cup, to be honest with you.
No, it's fair comment.
Okay, Marcus, one more question before you go. At Ayr today, obviously, very competitive racing. What have you marked off as maybe the nap of the day or the next best of the day?
Yeah, well, I'm actually really, really bullish about York Glory. I think this horse is going to be perfectly set up today. It's going to get a beautiful tone to the race. It's going to go fast early, and it's going to pick them up late on. But the one I fancy, those guys quite amazed at the price, is the 205 at Ayr. It's an Ipai. It's the Fillies Group 3. This horse ran against the boys last time and ran a good race. Back against the Fillies this afternoon. She's top rated. She doesn't carry a penalty. 7-2. In my opinion, I think she's a 6-4 chance. I think she'll win easy.
Okay. And just to remind us, what's the name of the one you just said?
A Nipai,
Okay.
top weight. Yeah.
Okay.
Power Racing.
Okay, that was for the viewers at home, so get their pen and papers out. Thanks very much indeed, Marcus, and I hope you have a great day.
It's all good, Peter. Keep well, okay?
Cheers, all the best. Right, these are the kind of races that Mr. Billy Blakeman absolutely loves. 27 runner handicaps. Ayr 240 is the one we're going to be discussing now. The Silver Cup, before we talk about the Gold Cup. The Silver Cup, he's perfectly right in what he's saying here in terms of the draw, isn't he, Billy?
He's almost right. You can't say cross off those drawn late. I don't subscribe to that, because if there is that much of a bias, and then jockeys, you kind of know that. So, you've got the option maybe of coming across and dropping in if you don't think you're drawn in the right place. But yeah, looking at those drawn high, I liked, I think Richard Fahey has a massive hand here. All these runners have got a chance here. Drawn high Mehdi, who ran over a mile last time at Chester, and didn't really get into things over a mile, but he's had a quiet season. He's come back. He would have been targeted for this, and he could go well from a high draw. As could Ansab, Valor McCabe, who's not the easiest, but he's got some place for him. But the one I want to mention first is Sir Reginald, who's drawn slap bang in the middle, which was like, and he was the first one to take my eye. This is a proper 7 furlong handicapper with a top yard. He's just about handicapped to win this, and this 6 furlongs, you need a 7 furlong horse, it's often said. I just thought Sir Reginald, if he's on form, he could pick these up. And he didn't run well last time, but if you watch him coming out of the stalls, he just made a bit of a mess of the exit, took a stumble, just never looked happy from the minute the gates opened. I'd forgive him that, and I think Sir Reginald is a good starting point at a price.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll get the prices up soon on as a price guide. So you made an argument for Sir Reginald, Sam?
Yeah, George Challoner, quite an eye-catching booking as well.
What a big handicap last week.
I know he's a stable jockey, but he has done well in these. Billy, you'd be looking at 33 to 1 with 5 places with most bookmakers there. Ooh. So that's possibly something.
Getting really excited now,
If you get the gold and silver double up, you could probably, who knows, maybe
win £30 off me.
Bye, guys.
If you do the double, you do get the double. You deserve to win more than £30, to be fair, but it's all part and parcel. Sam?
I kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit earlier, because I like Lexington Abbey in this one, right down at the bottom. 3-year-old, Pat Smullen booked. The draw's reasonable. It could be anything.
Interesting booking, though, isn't it, Pat Smullen?
I really like Pat Smullen. I watch a lot of
Irish
racing.
But considering that, it must to actually travel over to...
I imagine he's over for a few of the Irish runners on the card as well, but he's certainly not a bad man.
It's a big ask for 3-year-olds.
Massive. Oh, yeah, definitely. And I don't think that's quite factored. I wouldn't necessarily call it value now. You'd be looking at just over a double-figure price, looking across the board there. 11s in places, William Hill, Ladbrokes. It's possibly the one I'll be going for in a nice each-way double. I look forward to seeing the horse and maybe seeing it again next year in this sort of race if it trains on.
I've got a feeling, right?
Got a feeling.
You're right, Richard Fahey, but I've got a feeling that it's put a claimer on Majestic Moon, who stays further than 6 furlongs, 7 furlong horse. Bang against the rails, get it out as quick as you can, take the lead up, crack on, and stay there all the way through the race. I think that's what the idea is with Majestic Moon. I think he might come off. I think he's drawn right for it. I think he's put the apprentice on. He said, get it out, get it going, and just keep going. And he will lead from that draw. He will lead up, and he might well go on and win this race.
Billy,
big price.
You've got other runners in this race.
I've got one drawn low, which is a real shame, because again, you sort of have a look at these races.
Eric Alston had one yesterday, and it was drawn 4, and it led all the way on the far side, and it just got beat.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go with Yao, with Carl Burke, who ran a couple of really good races in these kind of sort of big handicaps in the spring, and then sort of didn't run so well. Went to the Curragh in June and ran really well from the wrong side in the race won by Line of Reason, and I just thought then, wow, he's capable of winning a big handicap. And unfortunately, in 3 runs since, he's not really showed his form. And he's got to pick up a little bit. But Yao could go well. He's a big price.
That bit of form last time out of Bogart's is pretty good form, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bogart's your favourite, and you can still get a double-figure price. That's with 888 Sport at 10s. But like I say, it's a really open one, this one. I know.
He doesn't always run quite as you think, Bogart. He can be a bit in and out, whether we'd back that up.
Yeah.
So if he was playing this race, this is the kind of race that I personally I would watch. I know Billy would get involved maybe 2 or 3 in the race. From your perspective, how would you bet this race? Would you touch it, or would you do a couple?
Right. So, for instance, right, I wouldn't. If I'm off track, I would never go near it. I'd never touch this race if I'm off track. If I was on the track, I would have a good look at it, and you're there for the day, you're enjoying yourself, and I'd pick one out and I'd have a score on it. And the one that I would pick out today would be Majestic Moon, and I'd bellow it home. And if it won at 14s or 20s, I'd think I was a genius.
Yeah.
But it's not my sort of race.
Billy,
really
this is your sort of race. So how
if
would
you're
you
going to
play
make money long term, you want to look at these races. Doesn't matter if you lose. You're looking at big price winners. These races, have a look. A lot of them can't win, and do a couple, do 3. Don't be afraid of that. I do think if you're playing today, don't ignore the low draws. Go high. I think Vince has a chance of Majestic Moon, but I'd go with Sir Reginald because he's come from behind. It doesn't really matter. He's drawn in 15.
Do you know the philosophy of racing is so juxtaposition? I mean, your idea is utterly, totally different to mine. Mine is to pick a horse in a Group 1 and absolutely hammer into it. And do it 2 or 3 times a year, or 4 times a year. Whereas you will pick 3 or 4 in the handicap, which I admire, which I love, and it's all part of the wonder of going racing and everything else.
Sure.
And I like watching these races. They're great. Say you're up in the stands, you see them charging towards you. It's magnificent, especially back a winner.
That's the beauty about racing. You've got you've got the group side of things. Yeah. I tend to go along that side of things. I prefer a group race to a handicap, and you've got the other side of things. I remember posting something up on LinkedIn and said, "Oh well, if you're not going to cover handicaps, I don't want to be involved." So
look at the turnover. Look at the bookmakers' turnover on these handicaps. It's massive, and the punters love them as well.
It's the bookmakers' turnover. They love races like
do the
Billy,
punters.
how many entries were there into the gold and silver cups? Do you remember?
236, Sam, at the 4-day stage.
Well, you can't say it's not popular.